Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to dive into a new topic for the channel, which is book reviews. I don't know if you're a person who loves to read like me, but I absolutely love to read. And I want to start by talking to you about an app that I found that connects to my library card. With my library card is an app called Libby, and through that I can go on to Tennessee Reads and find any book, any category, and check it out just like you would at the library. It's free. This has changed my life because I was doing Audible, which was fine. It was great, but it was expensive. I got one free credit. I would read that quickly. And then if you want to read other books, you have to pay more money to get the book. So this way I can check books out, read them, and then if you find a book that you really love and want to have a hard copy of, you can go back and do that. But I just wanted to say, check it out. It's awesome. I'm not sure how it works in other states, but I feel like it would be an app that would go with whatever kind of card or library card you have. But I would really recommend to check it out. It saved me a ton of money. I had a patient that recommended it, and I absolutely love it. So, with that being said, I have been reading a ton of books. And I just want to say, I love to read, but I was not fulfilling that because I had trouble finding time. I didn't have time to sit down with a printed book. So then I was discouraged. I would get started on a book and I wouldn't have time, and I would put it to the side and kind of forget what it was about and then try to come back to it. So anyway, this cycle went on for several months, and then I discovered Audible, which is where I got started in audiobooks because I drive a lot for my job right now, and I was using Audible to listen to books that I obviously couldn't find the time to sit down and read. And let me just say, that's opened up a whole new world for me. I can read. I'm even doing my Bible reading through an app called YouVersion. Yeah, I think it's called YouVersion. Anyway, it's an app that reads the Bible out loud. So while I'm getting dressed in the mornings, I can still start my day with God's Word. So just be open-minded to that you don't have to have a physical book to read in order to still fulfill that desire to consume more knowledge or read fiction books or whatever it is that you're interested in. So with that, I'm going to lead into a few categories that I want to talk about, some books that I have read in the last few months. First of all, it's going to be health books because you know I've been doing the health coaching, and there were some recommendations that I've come across in podcasts, and I actually bought these physical books. So the first one is called The Pegan Diet. I'm a big fan of Dr. Mark Hyman. I listen to his podcast. I really think he's knowledgeable. He is a functional medicine doctor, and this book really breaks down into principles the things that I'm striving for my health. It talks about why to eat organic, regenerative farming. There's all kinds of topics that are covered in here. And at the end of the book, there are recipes. Now, I loved all the principles. I felt like it, in a short summary, summed up what I believe about organic eating, for instance. And he has science, but it's not too deep, and the chapters are short. So each night I could read a chapter just before I went to bed, and that was kind of what my goal was in order to finish the book. Then when I got to the recipes, I was a little disappointed, I'm not going to lie. The recipes sound delicious, and they probably are, but the ingredient list, and I'm going to stand so you can see, are horrendous. They are so many ingredients, and so many ingredients that I don't even know what they are. So I don't know. I find that I'm probably not going to use this for making the recipes. They all are healthy and they're based on health, but I don't know. I don't have a use for lemon. Like, one thing was lemongrass. So I'm in a small rural area, and a lot of these things are going to be difficult for me to find in my grocery store. So just a heads up, the book is great. I highly recommend it if you're thinking about switching your eating, but the recipes are complicated. So that's The Pegan Diet. Now, the next one under the category of health is Feel Better in 5. This is by, I don't know if I'll say his name right, Dr. Rangan Chatterjee. And I found him on a podcast. He was actually on I think it was on Mark Hyman's podcast. And he had suggestions for how to change your habits, but in short increments. And that's what this book is about. So I went and bought the book, and I read through it. And I'm just going to say, if you're just getting started on some kind of health journey, or you're wanting to change your mindset, if you're wanting to develop a good morning routine or evening routine. He breaks segments down into small 5-minute increments that are easy for all of us to achieve. So it's like achieving your goals. And that's how he works with his clients. He actually works with clients and helping them to develop healthy habits. The book is really good. I already have a routine down, so as far as it being super beneficial to my current stance, it wasn't. But if you're getting started, I would highly recommend it, as it divides exercise, mindfulness, all kinds of things into small increments that you can achieve. So I really do recommend his book as well. Now, my next category I wanted to talk about was fiction. I read the most awesome fiction book, and I'm going to refer to my notes so I don't forget. It was called The Last List of Judith Kratt, and it was by Andrea Bobadis, assuming I'm saying that right. It was about like an inventory, so something like if it was your last will and testament, you would go item by item to list it if you were going to have an auction, let's say. And she goes through this book and she refers to each item in her inventory because she's still living. She was a single, never married, and was still living in her original birth house. And she goes through this list of inventory and relates it to events, secrets in their family, and in the end, even secrets that kind of destroyed their family. It was such a good book in the way that it had this single thread of this inventory woven throughout that led you to this final secret revelation. And I just thought it was really good. It was really relatable to probably a lot of families in the South where we do have maybe sometimes some skeletons in the closet. So I highly recommend it. The other two categories I've got, there's one in each. It's Christian, and I'm just going to say I've done it. I've got the book in print. It's called A Purpose-Driven Life by Rick Warren, and I started with this on an Audible book, so I decided to listen to it, and oh my gosh, it was amazing. I was trying to make notes audibly on my phone of all the things I was hearing, so I decided I wanted to buy it in print so I could read it and make notes. It was that impactful to my life. If you're a new Christian, super recommend this to help you get started in understanding what your purpose is here on earth. So, highly recommend it. I just can't say enough good things about it. Get a journal, be ready to take notes. It's that good. And then finally, my easy read category. I recently read a series by Caroline Fife. It was called Heart of Mine. It was a Colorado series, so like in the early days of settling Colorado, about a young girl and sisters that moved into an area and how it's like a Christian love story. It was super easy read. I did the 3 books in about a week and a half. It was a series of 3, and it was just uplifting. That's all I can say. So if you're looking for something that was an easy read and uplifting, I would recommend that you check it out. So as you can see, I'm doing a mixture. I have actual books that you can touch and feel, which I love, but I'm also really expanding my ability to read all the books I want to by doing the Audible books, or the books you can listen to. So I just want you to open up your mind to that if you haven't already, and give Libby a try. Take a look at that if it really helps save you some money there. Hope you'll check out some of these books that I've recommended today, and I would love it if you would leave some in the comments below some good books that you've read lately. I'm looking for my next good read. So I hope to see you guys in my next video. If you like this, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time.